In the world of rugby, every victory, every defeat, and even every point can spark heated debates among fans and experts. And when it comes to the rivalry between the Springboks and the All Blacks, the intensity is even higher. Recently, South Africa solidified its position as the #1 team in the world, winning consecutive World Cup titles and extending its winning streak against New Zealand to 4 consecutive matches. But does this really reflect the current state of world rugby? According to former Scotland, Leinster and Waratahs coach Matt Williams, the answer is a resounding no. In a blunt analysis, Williams challenges the notion that the Springboks are far ahead of the rest of the world, including Scott Robertson's All Blacks. He believes that despite South Africa's recent dominance, the gap between the world's top teams is minimal. The truth is that New Zealand rugby is not in a state of devastation. It is just that the Springboks are the best team in the world and New Zealand are now #2, Williams wrote in his column for the Irish Times. A bold statement considering the recent history between these two powerhouses. Williams acknowledges the merits of the Springboks and Rassie Erasmus, praising the structure of the South African team made up of superior athletes with almost no weaknesses. He highlights the culture of excellence created by Erasmus, which has maximized the team's collective talent. The World Cup is the only true measure of the global rugby market. All other metrics are meaningless, he wrote. The Springboks are back-to-back world champions because their team is packed with a collection of superior athletes with almost zero weaknesses, led by a brilliant coach who has created a culture that has maximized their collective talent. That said, their World Cup final victory was by a single point against a 14-man New Zealand team, hardly an obliteration. Then, in the first test in Johannesburg, the margin was the awarding of a highly controversial Springbok try. New Zealand are behind the Boks, but not by much, Williams analysed. He goes further, pointing out that the 4 recent clashes between the two teams were sensational contests, full of skill, passion, and entertainment. To him, the idea that the All Blacks are in decline is exaggerated, and New Zealand critics need to admit that these matches have been close and decided by very narrow margins. What the Kiwi doomsayers are not admitting is that all 4 games were sensational contests, dramatically close, full of skill, passion, and entertainment, he emphasized. For Matt Williams, the true benchmark of world rugby is the World Cup. He believes that all other metrics are meaningless when it comes to measuring the global strength of teams. According to him, the difference between the top 5 teams in the world is minimal, and this only makes the rugby landscape even more exciting and unpredictable. Here is the truth. The margins between the top 5 teams across the globe are paper thin, which is great for our game, he concluded. And now, the question remains. Do you agree with Matt Williams' analysis? Is the Springbok supremacy not as great as it seems, or are we witnessing a new era of South African dominance? Leave your opinion in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all the controversies and news in the world of rugby.